What's up everybody, ArrgThePirate here, and today we're going to play Nox in the mid lane. Now guys, this is my first match with her, and I don't know that much about her kit. She is a little bit new. She's nothing like Paragon has ever seen, so we're going to check her out. Now, I'm not going to go over her deck because the deck that I use, I don't feel is very good with her. I'll definitely have to try some other things out and come out with a deck build for her. But in this match, yeah, I don't really like the build that I used. I think I could have had a lot more effective build if I would have went with power over lifesteal. Now, let's go over her kit. We can do that. First, number one is Shadow Log. Nox extends her shadow, rooting and crippling a single enemy god in place, dealing damage over time, and you can move around when you're tethered to somebody. Guys, this is awesome. You combine this with your 2 ability, and it's absolutely amazing. I highly recommend starting out with your 2, though. And I have it on auto build, and it started out with 3. That's your escape. Don't start out with that, but let's go on to number 2. Siphon Darkness. Nox creates a void of darkness that silences all enemies within. After a short duration, it explodes, dealing damage. So what you would do is throw your 2 down and then hit somebody with your number 1, hold them in place, and guys, that number 2 hits like a truck. But it's very easy to walk out of. It's got a very long time before it blows up. So, and it silences, so most enemies just simply step out of it. Number 3 is Shadow Step. Nox dashes forward, dealing damage to all enemies, and if she hits an allied god, she jumps into their shadow, traveling with them. When Nox exits the allied god's shadow, she deals damage again in a radius around her. Nox may cancel this ability early to exit the shadow, and guys, this is awesome. You'll see me do this a couple of times. I did that at the very beginning of this match. I didn't know what I was doing. Like I said, this is my first match, so I'm still just kind of learning the kit. But next up, we have Night Terror, and this is a crazy ultimate, guys. Nox unleashes a vortex of dark energy that explodes on contact with an enemy god, dealing damage to all enemies within 20 radius and applying damage over time. Enemies hit are also weakened, dealing less damage for the duration. Guys, this is an awesome ultimate. It does a ton of damage, and altogether, her kit is very, very strong, but getting her kit, you know, actually learning that combo of, you know, hitting everything correctly is a little bit tough. Now, you see there, right there, I would say that was kind of successful, except I rushed forward at the end, but I went ahead and used that Siphon Darkness and then hit him with that Shadow Lock to hold that Morgan in place while she took the damage from that Shadow Lock. Yeah, I really like her kit. Alright, enough of that, let's get into the gameplay. Now, as the mid laner, you know, rotating and helping out wherever you can is key, even though you do need to keep your lane pushing. And if you see here, our Fenrir's going in on this little munchkin guy, whatever he is, we're gonna barely miss him, guys. He ends up ulting to get away, which, you know, hey, that's great. Fenrir's here, and he gets away just barely as well. So, you know, hey, that exchange, no one really got too hurt, and that's great. Morgan is here. Hopefully we can poke her down. And then their ADC shows up. Man, there's just crazy rotations here in mid. We got to get out. Sure enough, we back behind this tower. We're going to go ahead and back. You know, I'm out of mana. I'm low. I just don't want to deal with anything. This does allow me to upgrade my boots. And again, we're going with those Magi boots. Get that power, that movement speed, all that good stuff. You know, movement speed is so important on pretty much every hero I've found. There's really not any hero out there that I would say, hey, don't pick up movement speed. It's absolutely huge. And if an enemy has movement speed and you don't, you can never get away from them. So I would highly recommend picking up movement speed pretty regular, guys. Now, just like in Paragon, it is very easy to get caught out in Smite. So, you know, you really don't want to get caught out. And always make sure you have your escape. And you see that jungler was coming in right behind me there. If I would have got caught out, I would have definitely gone down. You know, he does have a stun. I I don't know his name, the little squirrel guy. I don't know his name, but I do know he has a stun that's absolutely horrible. So we definitely have to be aware of that. And yeah, just remain safe. Try to clean up that wave as quickly as you can. Your dash does do damage, but it feels kind of lacking. It feels like it's much better to use your dash to get into someone's shadow and then boom, hit them with that giant AoE. It just feels awesome. Now we end up getting that Morgan, but I guess we must have missed her in that Siphon Darkness. But, you know, hey, is what it is. We're still learning the hero. As long as we're playing safe, you know, we're doing okay. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and just kind of do this whole lane thing. Now, Morgan, I've never played her. I don't know exactly what she does, but she can spit out a clone of herself, and I'm pretty sure she can transform into someone else. I'm not exactly sure, but, you know, I just need to play her and learn her kit. I haven't ran into a whole lot of Morgans yet, though, so, you know, hey, is what it is. Now, we're going to go ahead and throw down that Siphon Darkness to just try to clear this wave. One thing I have noticed is Nox does not have just insane wave clear like a lot of the other casters, and you can use that 3 to actually clear that wave a little bit faster, but that does put you out of position, and it also keeps you from having an escape. And you can see here, we go ahead and use that ult on Morgan, and then she turns into 3 people. I just have absolutely no idea what she does. She ends up taking me down there. So, hey, you know, no problem. We get our first death. It was about time we died. We're struggling, guys. We have no idea what this kid does, and we're slowly learning it as we're playing. Now, once we spawn back in, we're actually going to head to mid lane, and Hercules was able to rotate over. He did some work there, but unfortunately, you know, he's going to end up going down. And we kind of get into a little poke match. You know, there's just a ton of presence here. We want to make sure this rat gets out of here because we don't want to deal with him. He does crazy damage. And my team rotating over, you know, that was a great collapse. They end up actually having a DC, which, you know, really hurts their start game. But they do end up getting back in, so that's awesome. You know, it was clearly, you know, an actual issue where they had a DC, which I actually had one earlier today where the game was so laggy and just latent. I ended up having to leave and just restart the game. So I was out like for a good, you know, 4 or 5 minutes. But, you know, sometimes that happens. We're playing casual, so it is a fun game. So no problem at all. Now, so far the mid lane for me hasn't been just super thrilling. We haven't got just a ton of kills. We've gotten a handful of poke matches, but nothing huge. And you saw that Morgan clone. Guys, I don't know about the Morgan clone yet. And we're gonna go ahead and start this engagement onto her. But, you know, we're not gonna be able to take her out. And I missed my root. Oh, it feels bad. But luckily, our Fenrir was able to head over and take her out. We ended up trading, so we've got a couple of deaths, a couple of assists. You know, feels bad, man, but, guys, I promise you, once we figure this kid out, we get it back. Now, once I spawn back in, our solo lane has a huge presence. You know, Hercules is pushing up pretty far. He's going to town on that T2 already. And, you know, he unfortunately gets caught out and goes down. I'm going to head over here just to ensure this push. Now, Fenrir's, he's doing work. And we're going to actually be able to take out their Kronos? I think that's Kronos. I haven't played him either, guys. And I don't know what he does. But we don't actually deal with him a whole lot this game. It doesn't seem like. By the time we do, it's late game and we're, you know, one-shotting people. So I don't have to deal with him just the entire lot. But from here, you know, we're going to head over to our duo lane. We want to assist in any way we can, you know, and unfortunately our ADC and support, they end up going down right there. But if we can just head over there and kind of help out, you know, that's exactly what we want. We're going to swoop in behind since we saw that hero back, and hopefully we can take this chick out, the dead lady. I don't know her name. And guys, does she disappear after she moves? I don't know. We end up going down again. You know, facing off against the ADC. That was just a bad move. And missing our root, you know, with Nox, you definitely got to be able to hit that skill shot, guys. Now, once we do spawn back in, my team actually decides to head over to the Gold Fury and take it out. And, you know, hey, that's great. I'm going to go ahead and clean up my mid lane and then, you know, head over to that Gold Fury. Hopefully we can keep some pressure on that tower. And, yeah, you know, that's great. That's exactly what we want. We do have some enemies show up. So, just like with Fangtooth, you need to peel off and deal with those enemies. You don't want to have to deal with, you know, Gold Fury hitting you and then, you know, taking it out while the enemy secures Gold Fury. Don't do that, guys. If the enemy shows up, get out of the Gold Fury circle and deal with the enemies there. And you can see that's exactly what we did. We were able to take out that ADC and secure gold. You know, that's huge. And for once, we landed our skill shot, which kept her from actually being able to secure that Gold Fury. Now, I have not spent just a whole lot of time in mid lane yet, and I've really been focusing on the jungle and that ADC position because I really want to get those guides out early, but I'm going to start working on mid lane, know that rotation a little bit better, all that kind of good stuff. Fenrir and me, you know, hey, we're able to delete that Kronos, you know, he shows up, but the little squirrel guy, he's here. Hopefully we can get out, you know, we gotta be careful. I'm kind of looking around, where'd he go? But my team was able to take him out, so I'm just gonna go ahead and back. Now, one thing, again, guys, lazy backing, I'm absolutely terrible within Smite about lazy backing, and it's way worse in Smite. Don't lazy back, because if you do, the towers don't do enough damage to keep you alive. You know, really, I've died so many times under tower where I'm just right there under that tower. Oh, feels bad. And the dead lady, she dashed into our tower. You know, we hit her with that ult. We delete her. We're finally figuring the kid out. You know, you can see we're making some progress. We're having some great teamwork, which is definitely helping me learn this kid a little bit better. I have definitely noticed with mages, you're definitely not a 1v1 fighter. You really want to concentrate on getting in those team fights and just cranking out that insane damage from the back lane. Now, you see here, this Morgan shows up, and she's so tricky because I never know if that's her clone or if that's actually her. We go ahead and dash through them, you know, confuse them. And we get ulted by the big fat guy, and, you know, hey, we got to get out. We're taking a ton of damage here, but I don't want to completely leave that engagement just in case I need to be there. And sure enough, the rat guy's here. We get our skill shot off, and then we back up. That was really just to hold him, you know, keep him at bay. And look at that. You know, it worked perfect. You know, that landing that skill shot is just so important with her. And you could see we were able to isolate that assassin, let my team continue to fight, and then by the time that assassin came back, or, you know, was able to get back, my team was able to just absolutely delete him. And then we hit their back lane with that ultimate. Oh, taking out that Morgan. Oh, it feels great because she definitely bullied me at the beginning of this. We're gonna try our best to catch up to the fat guy, take him out. Now he goes to sleep. I don't know what that is, guys. I've played him once and I just didn't read his kit. I just tried to play him. He's definitely that falling asleep when you're almost dead and then waking up just to die. I don't understand. Maybe that just gives you a half second for your team to make something happen. I'm not exactly sure, but I need to look at him and actually learn his name. But you know, guys, we're starting to learn this kit, and I gotta say, Nox is awesome. The damage she's able to do, having that awesome stun. I really enjoy her kit. Now, we're going to head over and hopefully get to the rat, but hey, our Fenrir was able to take him out, no problem. We end up stunning that Morgan, boom, or Kronos, I'm sorry, Kronos. We end up stunning him, and Hercules, oh, great. We miss our ultimate, but hey, you know, it's no problem. We're making some huge progress, and you can see where we end up using that shadow, and this is when I realize, hey, I can teleport into people and do more damage. So we're going to definitely have to try that out. We end up stunning their ADC right in the middle of my bubble. We take her out. You know, my team is pushing up very far. And unfortunately, I'm just not going... I can't do anything. I gotta get out. We made some huge progress there, and, you know, you can see we've gone from, you know, 3 deaths to, hey, we've got 8 kills now. I'm gonna try my best appeal for this Hercules. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, but I'm definitely going to try. And, you know, hey, we just gotta get out. Well, it looks like we might have been able to juke that Morgan, and sure enough, we're able to get out of this, and then we end up turning that fight around and taking her. Oh, that feels good. That was a good play. GG, Hercules. Oh man, you're my hero. Now, once we spawn back in, we're going to head to mid lane, but we're kind of trying to get set up to actually go for the Gold Fury. And, you know, you can see my team's kind of collapsing here, but their ADC shows up, so, you know, we gotta play safe. We're able to throw down that bubble, and guys, then we stun this ADC. Oh, look at the damage we did to her. Fenrir shows up, and he's able to take her out. Oh, awesome. And right now, let's get Gold Fury. We've got a huge collapse, you know, right now. Let's pick it up. And with everybody here, you know, it didn't stand a chance. That ADC getting caught out there, you know, that really gave us that free Gold Fury, and that's awesome. That's awesome. You know, remember, guys, when you get a kill, that's when it's time to capitalize on those type of things. Hercules, unfortunately, ends up going down mid, but that's quite all right. I'm going to head over to our mid lane, and hopefully we can kind of take out their front line. Sure enough, he didn't stand a chance. And you see Fenrir's doing a great job of staying on those bombs whenever I'm casting them. You know, he's staying on those bombs when he's got that hero attached, and, you know, we're taking him out. Look at the damage, guys. We're just hurting people. Oh, it feels awesome. This Kronos, you know, again, guys, I don't really know what Kronos does. I need to play him so I can actually figure it out. We're trying our best to get him stunned, and sure enough, we're able to stun him. I end up teleporting into Terra, and, you know, I should have instantly used that bomb, but, you know, we missed out on a kill. No big deal. We'll let one of them get away, I guess. I'm gonna, you know, kind of zone him out, and then hopefully we can, you know, continue this progress. We've been doing very well with kills, and we just want to keep that up. Now, I am out of position. Terra is backing up, so I need to kind of retreat a little bit, but Fenrir shows up, and he deletes their ADC. Oh, he hurts. And then we're going to end up picking up this big tank guy as well. We end up using that shadow charge, or, you know, the shadow step to get that big AoE damage. We're able to take out Kronos, guys. We're just doing work. Of course, you know, this is a team effort. You know, this is definitely not on me. You know, my team is working very well with those bombs. You know, Fenrir's keeping those heroes on those gods on those bombs to make sure they take that extra damage. You know, this is great teamwork, and you can see it is really paying off. Now, from here, we're going to head down into that solo lane side jungle. You know, there is an engagement going on. I'm going to use that shadow step to actually secure a double kill. Oh, feels great. You know, we're really starting to hurt, guys. We're really cranking out some damage. But again, you know, I don't really see a whole lot of benefit with lifesteal. I think there are just a lot better choices than lifesteal for Nox. You know, maybe going for just some crazy damage. I end up getting caught out there, and feels bad. You know, I was stunned forever. I know I have relics. Just so bad, like, it doesn't even occur to me, oh yeah, use your relic to get out. You know, I've never played a game that you had to deal with that, you know, other than back in the day with World of Warcraft, but that was a long time ago. It just does not occur to me to hit those relics, even though I constantly put beads on. I almost never use them. Oh, feels bad. Now, this is a longer match, so I'm just going to cut out that wait time, you know, or that death timer. There was nothing big happening. But I did buy some wards, so I'm actually going to head to the fire giant, throw some wards down, and then I make that huge mistake again, guys, of going into the tower the wrong way. Now, this is a habit that I've had from Paragon, because you could do that in Paragon. It wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, you might take a little bit of poke damage, but that's quite alright. You saw, guys, in Smite, you cannot do that. That is one habit I'm definitely going to have to break, but it's a bad habit to have, guys. And you see here, we end up getting 3 people down, and then our ADC actually ends up going down as well. And, you know, Hercules is kind of left there alone. He's doing work, but, you know, that tower's gonna fall. And, oh, feels bad. You know, we could have avoided a lot of that just by making the right engagement. Fenrir shows up and tries to snag somebody. Sure enough, he grabs that ADC, and they're able to take out the ADC. But, you know, they're in our Phoenix, so, you know, with all of us down, hey, this is not that great. Now, once I finally do spawn back in, we end up getting to that Phoenix in time, and sure enough, me and Hercules, together, we're cranking out the damage. We end up taking out Kronos. I hit this long-range ultimate on the fat guy, and then I'm following Hercules. You know, I'm kind of worried about that, and sure enough, that ultimate was enough to actually take him down. But again, guys, he went to sleep. I don't know what this is. I need to learn this guy. And, you know, we end up shadow stepping right into Hercules, hitting him with that huge AoE damage, and feels great, man. Well, that was an awesome play. You know, I like Nox even more after watching me play her. She's a lot of fun, guys. From here, we end up collapsing on the fire giant. We're able to take him out, no problem. And then, you know, the enemy shows up, so let's go ahead and deal with them. I get my root onto that Morgan. We're able to take her out. And then the squirrel guy shows up, and I ended up shadow stepping into Fenrir, but, you know, we were just out of range. It feels bad, man, but that's quite all right. Hopefully, we should be able to push an objective. You know, even though we did get that team wipe and we're not winning the tower game anymore, you know, we're still, you know, this game isn't over, especially with us picking up that fire giant. We might be able to make some huge play come up, and, you know, that's really what we're waiting for. We have some enemies following us. I land that stun, and boom, we're able to do a ton of damage. We end up getting a kill, and then the fat guy doesn't stand a chance. And, you know, hopefully we'll be able to make something happen. I get another stun on him. We're able to get a double kill. Oh, it feels great, man. Feels absolutely great. Nox is awesome, guys. Y'all need to play her. This, like I said, this is my first game, and once you kind of figure out what exactly her kit does, oh, she feels so good. Now, since we're keeping the enemy team on these staggered deaths, we're actually able to push this T2, then take out the Phoenix, and rotate over and take out the dual lane Phoenix as well. This is great. This is great. We completely flipped this fight around. You know, after that last, you know, that team wipe we had, you know, I was kind of like, it's over. But you can see, guys, the Paragon was, I really felt Paragon when you got at that huge disadvantage like that. There wasn't a whole lot of way you were going to come back, but in Smite, you can definitely make team comebacks, and it feels great. Now, we're staying in this fight. I really want to leave. I really want to get out, but Hercules is staying in, and I feel I need to stay in because he is here. And so, you know, hey, we're able to take out that Morgan, you know, and we're making plays. You know, this is awesome, but the enemy team is coming back. You know, they're coming back online, and we really need to do our best to, you know, get out of this situation. You know, that, like I said, Hercules, he's pushing, man. But since we have fire, you know, let's go ahead and take out another objective. Getting that kill on Morgan, you know, that was huge, but we had 3 of our teammates go down there, and we just need to play very, very safe because there is 4 of them up. But when you're in this type of situation, you know, the buddy system is absolutely huge. And, you know, you can see the team ended up rotating on us, and, you know, we knew that was going to happen. You know, we knew it was going to happen. And we end up getting quite a bit of damage onto the squirrel guy, but their ADC is here, and she deletes me. And, you know, hey, I used my relic there, guys. But, you know, we didn't live through it. Hercules, you know, he's booking it. He might be able to get out. You know, Hercules is tough, guys. He can take a punishment. But, you know, there's only so much he can take as well. We end up getting on staggered deaths, which is absolutely critical at this point. You know, that's a great play on their part. We shouldn't have pushed that tower. We should have really left. And you can see, you know, it was just split seconds and we died. So really, when you're at that point, you know, it's best to play defense. With us having those 2 Phoenixes down, you know, there's really no problem with us backing off and letting them push to us and kind of gathering, you know, our forces together. But, you know, hey, we got caught out. That was a decision I made as well. You know, it wasn't just on Hercules. We both ended up getting caught out, and it feels bad, but we're going to spawn in shortly. Now, when we do spawn back in, you know, hey, Fire Giant is about to spawn back in. Well, let's go ahead and get that secured, and hopefully we can, you know, make something happen. I'm going to go ahead and throw a ward down in our jungle just to, you know, see if they're collapsing. And I kind of I should definitely have placed that ward differently, you know, but we are here going in on Fire Giant, and their team collapses on us. They knew what we were doing, and I got absolutely deleted. Oh, feels bad. You know, all of our team was there, and we just gave that to them. Oh, feels bad. You can see me, I'm pulling out the menu going, holy moly, what hit me? But yeah, we end up all going down there except for our Terra, but she's very low, and she's not going to be able to contest anything at this point. You know, it feels bad, man. And, you know, hopefully we can turn this around. You know, that's our second semi-team wipe, and, you know, hey, at this critical point in the match, you know, that's bad. Now, the enemy team was able to push down to our Phoenix, and they take our Phoenix out. I'm the first one to spawn in, so hopefully, you know, I'll be able to make something happen. And, you know, we just have to be very, very careful. I'm gonna back up, you know, let our Titan do some work if he can, and, you know, just kind of deal with the situation. You know, there's not a whole lot we're gonna be able to do. I end up rotating over to our other Phoenix. You know, they've got a couple of enemies here, and their Kronos is here, you know, and we're gonna end up taking him out. I'm not exactly sure what he was doing there. You know, that was a bad choice. The fat guy shows up and puts us to sleep. That he saved the little squirrel guy's life. That awesome play on his part. And then from here, you know, we're gonna just continue to push. I end up taking down the speed buff for our jungler, and again, we're just gonna keep rotating, or, you know, keep pushing this fight, push it back. You know, they did end up getting 2 Phoenixes there, so, you know, we're going to have to deal with having 2 Phoenixes down, even though, you know, they had 2. We should be able to turn this around, you know. Like I said, guys, just because, you know, you get a team wipe, things like that, it does not mean the game's over. Especially one this close, you know, it's 43 to 45. We are not doing bad, and it's definitely not over. Now, from here, you know, we're kind of just hanging out in mid lane. I'm going to throw some wards down, which, you know, since the Fire Giant's downed, we don't need to worry about it all that much. Morgan and the rat guy are here. The rat guy hurts. I tried to teleport to that Hercules to, you know, get out of that damage, but we end up getting collapsed on, and they take both of us out. Oh, feels bad. You know, they did a great job of ganking there, and I gotta say, I did a pretty bad job of, you know, staying safe. That was a bad play on my part for sure. My team somehow keeps us from losing this game. Oh, great job, guys. Y'all did awesome here. We ended up actually getting a few kills. You know, our ADC's doing her job. She's doing work. And then, you know, Morgan is here, so, you know, we gotta be aware of that. We're going to then end up getting our root on her, and boom, we're able to take her out as well. Oh, feels great. So we flipped this around again, guys. You know, we got 4 of them down for, you know, our few being down. You know, this is great. We're going to end up pushing down mid lane. Hopefully we can get some progress here. You know, those death timers are very long at this point, and you know, that's huge. That when you start getting these deaths at this late stage in the game, you know, that could potentially flip that fight. Now, with them having these fire minions, you know, it's tough to actually just clear those waves. And that's where, you know, being a mage, you know, that helps for sure. Now, we have been just trading deaths back and forth, and now's the time to play safe. We want to get with our team. You can see I'm throwing some wards down. And, you know, now's the time to just play safe. Hercules gets some collapse, and we're able to head in behind him. You know, unfortunately, he goes down there. And, you know, that's it's just, like I said, you know, that's unfortunate. We end up wasting our ult there, which that feels bad as well. And, you know, we're making plays. You know, we're doing well. We've got a couple of them for just Hercules going down. We end up taking out the fat guy as well. And again, he falls asleep. I don't know what that is. We end up taking out 3 members of their team. You know, that's a huge play. Now, from here, I'm going to back, you know, our Titan's under attack. We got to head over there and deal with that. I'm actually going to, you know, kind of play safe. I'm going to continue to throw some wards down, you know, just keep vision everywhere. And that way we can see if people are sneaking up on us. You know, right now's the time to play safe. And we're going to kind of, you know, hang out. We pick up our red buff. We're just looking around. Morgan is here, and I get tricked by her clone. Oh, feels bad. And, you know, but this is the team fight. You know, this is what's going to end the match right here. Hopefully we can make something happen. I end up getting absolutely deleted here. I hit that Morgan, but she was, you know, in her little buff thing, and we end up going down. I had my relics. I had my relics again. I really got to learn how to use those things. And, you know, from here, with us dying early on in that fight, you know, that's huge. My team is all very, very low, and we end up actually all going down. And, you know, hey, the enemy team ends up pushing this to victory. This was an absolute fun match, though, guys. I had an absolute blast. I feel we did a decent job with Nox, you know. We had a pretty decent score. We had a lot of careless deaths, but this was nonetheless a very fun match. And you can see it's a lot more balanced than the most matches I have been playing. You know, it's not completely one-sided. You know, it's 52 to 54. You know, it's a very well-balanced match, and it was just an absolute blast. So I gotta say, this was probably one of the funnest matches I've played in Smite so far. Even though we end up losing, you know, this was definitely a blast of a match. And afterwards, you know, in the game lobby, we were able to talk to everybody, and, you know, everybody was like, hey, this was really fun. So hopefully we can keep getting these more balanced matches and just continue cranking out some Smite. I'm still having a blast with this game. Well, we didn't win our first Nox game, but that's quite alright. This was a really fun match. Well, if y'all enjoyed, show me some love. Leave me a comment. Think about subscribing. Add me on Smite, guys. We also have a Smite clan set up. The Scurvy Dog crew. Feel free to join, as always. I'll see y'all in the next video.